Dear friends, let us understand the concept of program execution. As we are aware that program is containing the set of instructions which are needed to be compiled to give us the desired output and result. So what is the importance of program execution? Because if the program is not being executed properly, the end user will not get the desired output. Now, there are different phases when it comes to program execution. You fetch the instruction, you execute the instruction, but before executing, you decode the instruction or encode the instruction in the forms of the machine language, which is in the form of binary language, that is zeros and ones. So, what do you understand by the concept of program execution? The instruction consisting of a program to be executed by computer are loaded in sequence location in the memory. So they are loaded in the sequential locations in the memory, because if the program is not being loaded into the memory, so they cannot be executed. These memories can be any memory, like it can be a cache memory, it can be a virtual memory, it can be the memory that is linked to your registers, and so on. Program fetches one instructions at a time and performs the operation. Now, instructions are fetched from successive memory location until a branch or jump instruction is encountered. So what do you mean by a branch or jump instruction? So let's assume that an instruction is being performed by the CPU, like the operation is being performed by the CPU on a particular instruction. Now when the instruction is being performed, we all are aware that ALU and the system bus starts working, and the system bus has address bus, data bus, and the control bus. Now when the CPU is performing a particular operation, during that time an interrupt arises. An interrupt is nothing but an error or error handling. So the priority is being given to the interrupt because it is something, an unexpected error or obstacle which has come into your program, or an unexpected risk which has arisen into your program. The processor keeps the track of the address of the memory location containing the next instruction to be fetched. This is done with the help of your program counter. Now, processor is responsible for checking after execution of the instruction which next instruction to be processed or which next instruction to be fetched from the memory. It has been called as the program counter. And there is one instruction register which keeps a track of all the instructions that have been stored onto the register. Now, executing an instruction. First, fetch the contents of memory location pointed by the PC. The content of this location are loaded into the fetch phase. So from the fetch phase, you are fetching the instruction. For example, here, fetch phase is represented with the help of IR, instruction register. And there is a pointer which points from PC to the instruction register, indicating that the contents of PC needs to be stored into the instruction register. Assuming that the memory is byte addressable increment, the content of the PC is incremented by 4, that is into the fetch phase. So the contents that are getting stored into the PC are being incremented by 4. For example, 1 plus 4 is equal to 5. Carry out the action specified in the instruction into the IR, that is into the execution phase. Now, what do you understand by addressing mode? The addressing mode refers to the mechanism which is employed for specific operands. We know that the operands may be in the form of the source code or in the form of the destination code. The operand can be specified as a part of the instruction, or it can also refer to a memory location. So it can be an instruction or it can be a memory location. Again, the memory location can be in the form of a stacked memory, virtual memory, cache memory, and so on. That is static memory and dynamic memory. An operand could also be an address of the CPU register. So where the CPU contents are getting stored, the operand can be a part of it. The most common addressing techniques that are being used are, one is immediate addressing technique, then you have direct, You have indirect, you have register addressing technique, you have register indirect addressing technique, and then you have the displacement. Now, what are the different types of addressing mode and how they are being notified? First of all, when you notify A, capital letter A, it contains the address field, an instruction that refers to the memory. So, contents of an address field. So, whatever the address field is there, it will contain the contents of that address field. Then you have R, content of an address field in the instruction that refers to a register. So R indicates register, A indicates address. EA indicates effective address of location containing the reference operand. And in bracket, X contains the memory location of X or of register X. So what do you understand by immediate addressing? Operand is actually present in the instruction. So whatever you want to execute, it is already present in the instruction because it is getting stored into the memory. Let us consider operand is equal to A. Now we are aware that capital A is the address. This mode can be used to define and use constant or set initial values of the variable. Because you have the address, you can set the initial values of the variable. The advantage of immediate addressing is that no memory reference other than instruction fetch is required to obtain the operand. For example, instruction move RO, 300. Then you have direct addressing. The address field contains the effective address. Like the effective address is directly linked with the actual address. So EA is equal to A. So whatever address is actually present will be becoming the address of the effective address when it comes to direct addressing. It requires one memory reference and no special calculation. So why no special calculation? Because effective address is directly linked with the actual address. So why this is necessary? Now this becomes necessary when you want to address a particular instruction in the case of direct addressing. Here A indicates the memory address of the operand. Because we are aware that the operand will be stored into the memory, it may be any sort of a static memory or dynamic memory. So A indicates the memory address of the operand. For example, move R1, 1001. Then you have indirect addressing. The effective addressing of the operand is stored in the memory and the instruction contains the address of the memory contained to address the data. So here it is called as indirect addressing because again here effective address is equal to the address A. But here A is in bracket because the address of the memory containing the address of the data, because A indicates the address of memory containing the address of data. So again A will be pointing towards the address of the data. So it is being kept into bracket. Here A indicates the memory address field that is required by the operand. Move RO, bracket 1000 is the example of it. Then you have register addressing. The instruction specifies the address of register containing the operand. For example, here you would be using, instead of effective address, you would be using register because the register indicates where the operand is present. The instruction contains the name of the CPU register. Move R1, 1010. So it indicates the name of the CPU register. Then you have register indirect addressing. The effective address of the operand is stored in the register and the instruction contains the address of the register containing the address of the data. Now, when you say register indirect addressing, you should remember that again you will be using effective address, and effective address will be directly linked with the register, and register will be containing the address of the data. So instead of address, you will be using register, which will be stored in the form of brackets. Here R indicates that memory address field of the required operand. Move RO, comma, bracket R1. You have displacement addressing, a combination of direct addressing and register indirect mode. So displacement addressing is a combination of address plus indirect register indirect addressing mode, which is in the form of bracket. The value contained in one address field, that is value is equal to A, is used directly. The other address field requires to a register whose contents are added to A to produce the effective address. So here the contents of register are added along with the actual address, and then it becomes the effective address of the address field. Now, what do you understand by displacement addressing? It is being divided into three types. One is called as relative addressing, one is called as base register addressing, and the other one is called as indexing. We will be going ahead and looking into relative addressing and base register addressing. For indexing, we have prepared a separate topic. Now, what do you understand by relative addressing? For relative addressing, the implicitly referred register is considered to be program counter, which we call as PC. The current instruction address is added to the field to produce the effective address. So here EA is equal to A, that is the effective address is equal to the address. Thus the effective address is a displacement relative to the address of the instruction. For example, 1001 JC X1, 1050 X1 colon add register 1 comma 5. So if X1 is the address of target instruction minus address of the current instruction. So here the target instruction what we are targeting is 1050 and the current instruction is 1001. So X1 will be stored in the memory location 49. Base register addressing. The base register reference register contains a memory address, and the address field contains a displacement from the base address specified by the base register. Here EA is equal to A, that is your address, plus base register, it is bracket B. So your B becomes your base register.